Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your hosts, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning. What a crazy day yesterday with the price action. We were live with Mark Wood. The Federal Reserve is just incompetent. I mean, that's all I can say. That everything happened during their press call, and it just kept going down and down and down because they're. I usually give Jerome Powell the benefit of the doubt, but clearly, the market did not like what they said and what they did because it makes no fucking sense.
Do you think the market directly crashed is a strong word, uh, due to
No, no,
Jerome?
no, crashed is a legit word. I mean, the S&P was
Okay.
down 3% in hours.
Do you think that Bitcoin in isolation had anything to do with Jerome Powell's announcement about Bitcoin that they can't hold it or anything? Do you think people overreacted to that?
No, no, I don't. I think it's just his overall demeanor of lowering the rate for no reason. And this is where people, and I've always said, people get this confused. People think that lowering the interest rate stimulates risky assets. They're wrong. That's not it. The occasion, because people have been brainwashed to believe that lowering the interest rate stimulates and inflates risky assets, the markets tend to want the lowering of the rate. That's not the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is the rate needs to be lowered in time of financial economic stress in order to stimulate the market when it needs to be stimulated. And lowering the interest rate for no reason whatsoever only creates longer after the immediate reaction. It creates this longer term question of, well, why are we stimulating the economy if the economy is strong? So it creates this uh, I guess doubt that the economy is actually strong if the Fed has to lower the rate.
But I mean, the fact was, it was like 99% believed the rate would be lowered, right? So why was anybody
Right.
taken off guard by it? What
I mean,
contributed
maybe
to the?
people are stupid. No, like I don't know, right? Like there has been zero need to lower the interest rate at any of the last three meetings, and they
Hmm.
have done it, right? So now, when the market does eventually crash, and it could happen going forward, they will not be able to lower the rate much further to stimulate the market because they did it for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's have a look what happened to Bitcoin as I go
Yep, go
straight
for it.
into the chart. I mean, let me just move shit around here for a second. You guys can't see what I'm doing like behind the scenes. There's all this stuff on my thing, but I it's there. So in yesterday's show, I had gone through like a handful of fantastic trades that I had, and I was long from, we'll call it 104, right? 104 I was long, and I on this is a 15-minute time frame right now, and I said, like, I'm happy to just, because I've had so many good trades recently. I'm happy just to put a break-even stop on this one and see if the market will recover. I thought perhaps that the Fed rate would come in as a lowered rate, and like all the other people, I suppose, that Tone's talking about that don't know what they're doing, I thought it might have kicked off again. I thought that might have been the low, but no harm, no foul. I took profit on the trade at about 104, 500. Slight, slight profit after fees. We'll just call it a break-even trade. Then I went to bed and woke up in the morning, and the price had, when I woke up, was about $100,000, right? So we had a significant fall overnight, and then I've re-entered today off the same principle that I always enter off. It looks like a inverse head and shoulders, but more importantly to me, it's a low with a higher low that came down and retested the 30 simple moving average, and I was able to take that trade to the upside on the breakout there. So for me, that was a simple trade, and that's in 10, 11% profit as it stands right now. I'll probably do the same thing I did in last night's trade, where I could take, zero point 0.1 Bitcoin off the table right now, but I'll or 0.05 or whatever it might be, 0.06, something like that. But I think I'll just set a break-even stop because I have no idea if there's further downside on the table. Even though that's a good trade, I do think that that might has a possibility of being a nice entry for a continuation movement. This might have been the washout that we were waiting for, especially the day after a Fed announcement. Tone's always talking about the day of the Fed announcement, the movement that we get. I find that it's the day after. So if the market tends to crash, it tends to reset the day after. So I'm interested to see if we can get a reset today, or if there's continued downside, I'll take a break even stop here and look to re-enter lower. And I've got targets for the lower re-entry. So I'll go into the 4 hour right now. We got really close to an alphanumerics green diamond right here at the $98,000 mark. And as we've rebounded off it, we didn't get to that point. We've just been stopped in our tracks as we speak right now at the 50 period moving average. This is the same thing I mentioned in last night's show. I really clearly mentioned in last night's show that, and I'll show you on the 12 hour what I was looking at, that this is the classic liminal space kind of trade where we break down, come back and retest the breakdown point, the moving averages, and then it slowly fades lower. So if that's the case, it's like verbatim what I said last night. It still applies today, just at like a $3,000 lower price. This trade that I'm in right now, I can see three things happening on the 4 hour time frame. One, we come back up to retest the 50 simple moving average and we continue the trade lower. I'll re-enter inside the green wave, which it could be at any price. I don't care about the price, but hopefully I can get a green diamond inside the green wave. So if we're doing this show tomorrow, that might be where I entered from if the market continues to crash when the US market's open. That's the first option. The second option, we come back and touch on this 50 simple moving average, put in a higher low. Perhaps that'll be around my entry price anyway, which might get me to stop out of this and then have to re-enter. Perhaps I'll have to re-enter at the break of the neckline, or I'll try and catch a higher low. But it probably at that point it will be at a breakout point of maybe 102, which I'm still happy to get. If we come in and put in a high low and break out here, that's fine, even if I have to stop out. Or the third option, which should be preferable, that this is it. We've had the washout down to 100,000, and we continue and break through the 50 simple moving average. So that's the three options that I'm seeing. I am already positioned in one of them, which I'll have to negotiate in real time as it goes on. So that's the 4 hours it stands. I'll just quickly go through the 12 hours. What I said, not the 12 hour. I did this yesterday. Might be the daily. Yeah, that was the daily. Don't, oh shit, sorry, Tone. Don't remember. But moving forward, I really like that the daily came down and kissed the 30 simple moving average to the point, like to the dollar, like it did here on the 5th of December, like it did on the 9th of December, like it did on the 10th of December, and as it stands on the 19th of December. I think the alphanumerics moving averages are the best moving averages, and I'll just put that out there. It's the 7, the 30, the 50, the 200 across all time frames, simple moving averages. Uh, Let me know if you disagree with that, Tone. I know that you use your own, but I mean, I paint these pictures every night and they just seem to be so good. So if you're looking for moving averages to use and you're not sure, 7, 30, 50, 200, that's a good starting place, and you can make your own adjustments from there. Same rules apply here on the 30. We came down on the daily, sorry. We came down and reached this at 30. We got stuck between the 7 on this day. That's liminal space, guys. Below the 30, I'm bearish. Above the 7, I'm extraordinarily bullish. That's a perfect picture, and we are smack in the middle of that right now. That's it. That's it for me today. I won't go to the weekly because we've got one more show in this week. Great sign up deposits here on Blowfin. Fantastic. Just deposit and trade with volume, and you get the great returns. Coming back to you right now, Tone. Also, we've got fantastic deposit bonuses on BitGet, which I highly recommend BitGet as well because they have coin margin. So you get the benefit of the price moving. All the links in the description below. Bangbox, of course, and of course, MRI Swingbot, which I highly recommend in this particular market conditions. Free trading bots live in the description below. Tone, take us through it, mate.
All right, let me go to screen share here. Okay, the long-term picture has not changed. We are super bullish with a target of approximately 120,000. The weekly picture has also not changed. We are still bullish on our way to an MRI top sometime in mid to late January. We have about 5 more weeks to go. Next week is our last week of December to close out the year. And then we still have the majority of January until reaching an MRI top for a potential move to that 120 with a significant reversal then after. Allocation chart is not interesting. The daily chart. The daily chart pulled back to our moving average, and we are already recovering. So it's very, very possible we have put in another miniaturized swing low. This is not the real correction. I don't think this is the real correction. I really think we're gonna make it in that vicinity of 120 with the weekly MRI top before suffering a proper 20 to 30% correction. This correction was only 9%, which is not even as bad as what we saw on a single day back on December 5th. Okay, the price managed to get below 99,000. So again, goes to me saying a month ago that it's going to be a struggle sustaining 100K. And I still think a bigger correction is coming. At one point or another, we're going to make it down to that 50 period moving average, which at the moment sits in the $92,000 range. So this is going to be interesting. How long can we continue making these higher lows until eventually we crack into a lower low? This could happen somewhere back here as well. Yeah, but sometime in January. So I can see the market recovering after such a crazy day that we had yesterday. All eyes are on the 10 a.m. reversal today. I see the stock market has once again started to turn down. Let me see. This is on a delay data. This is real data. Since we opened early this morning, the markets are down since the open. And let's see how everything handles the 10 a.m. reversal. On the Bitcoin front, the 4-hour chart perfectly gave you a buying opportunity on the MRI. The 4-hour MRI is very good to the market, waiting for the MRI to load. There it is. There's the 4-hour MRI buy opportunity. Let's go to the last time we had a 4-hour MRI buy opportunity. It wasn't perfect. The following candle did drop us down, and then we started our ascent. And the 4-hour MRI before that was absolutely perfect, also inside a big drop.
Tom, would you agree, if you look at the current price, that this has the hallmarks as it stands right now of a 1 to 4 candle correction that will continuate to the downside? Like the fact that it came up, I don't know what your moving average is there, but it's the same jazz that we hit the MRI high, came up, retest the moving average, and we can continue. It doesn't look good, right? That's what you
Well,
would expect.
again, the 10-minute hindsight is 2020, right? So if I go to the
No, the
10
four
minute
hours,
chart,
4 hours,
yeah,
beautiful.
I know. But if you ask me this question, the
Yeah,
moment we went live, I would have said this is looking like a real correction. If you ask me this question right now,
right.
it looks like Bitcoin is going to $22,000, right? So it depends on when you ask the question during the stream.
Yeah, true. Fair play. Yeah.
So right now everything is crashing, but this is the kind of thing that this is how the 10 a.m. reversals are made, right? So in about 10 minutes, this is the falling knife I want to catch, whether it's in the stock market or in Bitcoin, because everything is completely crashing down right now.
Yeah, I've got my finger on the
Go
close
back.
trade button, but I haven't hit it yet.
So I don't know what's happening in Bitcoin right now, but this looks like has all of the earmarks of a 10 a.m. reversal incoming just to scare people. And I still think this low is going to stay. I still think there is a decent chance we're going to make it back to the highs of whatever 106, 108 versus going down below 98 and a half. So whatever low is made in the next 20 minutes is likely going to be the low. So yeah, so I would be waiting for 10 a.m. I mean, we're already within the margin of error for 10 a.m. So maybe a 5-minute chart, I'd wait for a proper reversal candle, and then it should be off we go.
I might have to get off this stream, Tone, and manage this trade.
Yeah, it looks like I have to manage my AMD trade as well. So we both have to get off the stream and manage our trades. In case anyone's wondering on the AMD, it's still a daily, no, it's the weekly MRI top. The day MRI buy, sorry. The daily MRI buy comes in yesterday. The low comes in yesterday so far. MRI is loading. I'm waiting for a little bit of strength here. This is actually potentially a double down situation on Monday. If we are back above 125 on Monday, that is a double down. I am going to give this trade the rest, well, today, tomorrow, and probably Monday, Tuesday, because the daily MRI buy is here. The weekly MRI buy still has a few more days. So clearly there could be more downside and even early next week. And the monthly MRI buy can still have, oh, the monthly MRI buy isn't even coming until January. So, which is in 10 days. So there's plenty of time for me to properly set up for this trade. Nothing is simple. Here's another, monthly MRI buy. There was definitely scares, but the lows were never broken. So the lows for this month may not be here yet, nor the lows for the week, nor the lows on the daily chart. Here is the daily chart. We are rising back up again a little bit. Well, this morning was definitely better when it was at 23 and a half. So I got to go manage this trade as well. I got to see what's going on. I know I sold options and those are going to expire worthless. So that's great. But the options that I bought do need to be managed, or maybe I hedge them some more by selling more options as well. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. We got to
Yes.
go manage trading.
Sorry, guys. I'm in a $500,000 trade, and it's exactly break even right now. And but it was as low as -5% a minute ago, so I have to keep an eye on this. I would have normally have set a stop loss, but I was on the show when we were 12% up when we started the
And I'm
show.
trying to
So
figure out, why interactive brokers are showing me the option price of every single option on AMD except for the two that I'm involved in. So I think I have to re-exit my account and re-enter.
the life of the traders. You see us
Yeah.
on yachts and you see us on floating little houses on the water, but is also this shit as well. So you know the drill.
Oh, one last thing. So yesterday, there was still a net positive for Bitcoin, but this data is so delayed that I think today's data, no matter what happens today, there's going to be a negative, a big negative. So let's see how that goes. All right, guys, that's it. Like, subscribe, share, and see you all tomorrow morning.
Thanks, guys.